Alright folks, thanks for stopping by. I'm going to try to keep this brief, but you know how it goes. Now we're going to be talking about aerospace and defense. Got my list together and hope you like it. Alright, first up is Archer Aviation. Okay, what you can see here, it's been taking off like a rocket. Got some support here at about $5.58, roughly $5.50. It's probably going to be our support area most likely, or maybe back down here around $5, but I doubt that. I think we're going to find some support up around here, $5.50, and continue higher. We got to retest this high up here at $7.02, and then maybe come back and try to break through that. But look for some resistance in that area at around $7. Okay, this is one of your cheaper of the of my list, the Aero Defense. Alright, next up is, I don't know how to pronounce it, Aerospace Corporation. It's another one of the cheaper ones. As you can see, it's moving into the moving averages here, finding some support with the 5 simple moving average, and it's trading between the 5 and the 20. So as long as we can stay above these two and continue to push higher, we should continue to roll with these. Of course, they're aerospace and defense stocks, so they should continue to do well on and through to 2026. And I don't know if you've seen my previous video on the whole conflict going on overseas, but if you haven't, you should catch that, because I pretty much touch on the reason why this should continue to go on through to 2026. Okay, look out for this. Had a gap down here at $9.14, and as you can see, there was some resistance area there, so it gapped down to here. So this window where it opened up at right here is going to be our resistance, first resistance level. Luckily it's overhead, so we got a ways to go before we have to worry about it. And then the low of this one is 9.14, so that's our window. Okay, we're gonna probably swing back and forth between this window, going higher and then lower, higher and lower, or we may just blow through it and keep going higher. We have to see how these conflicts overseas continue to play out. And then plus we got the new conflict that's going to be happening here in the States when the new president takes office, because he's talking about using the military to get all these illegals out. So if he uses the military for that, that's more defensive stuff. And there was another one I need to add in here. There's a company that makes stun guns. Shoot. We're going to get back to that one. I'll add that one later, so be looking for that one. I'll just do that one stock and then I'll add it to my list, and then when I update my list, then we'll go over that one also. But shoot, I meant to add that in here. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Sorry about my little brain fart there. Anyhow, so yeah, AirSale is actually pushing higher. We got to get through these moving averages, so I suspect it's going to take a lot to get through them. We're going to hit this $8 area, maybe pull back, find some support in the moving averages, and then try to push up through this area. And once you get above $9, we need to get up above, I'd say probably about $10 or so. If we can get up above $10, find some support and continue higher, and we should continue to run. And we should have our moving averages should have swung underneath us, and then we should be in an uptrend at that point, heading higher. Alright, next up is CW, Curtis Wright Corporation, and as you can see, there's pretty much nothing to say here. It's been respecting the 20. This is probably about the 40 in here somewhere, and of course we got the 150 here. Alright, so yeah, I don't know if you have your simple moving averages, if you have a 40 in there, but if you do, let me know if it's respecting that 40. Alright, but as you can see, the 20 is it's been respecting the 20 somewhat, and the 5, so but it's definitely been staying in this uptrend. So you can you know, keep an eye on that, see what it's doing. I believe this pullback here is similar to the pullback we're going to have in the next 2 or 3 stocks that I'm going to talk about. This particular stock does pay a dividend, and so we're getting towards the end of the year, so look for me. You may have that maybe for that dividend there that it's paying out on the 22nd of November. But then also the end of the year, they usually pay a good dividend too, most of these stocks. So look for that. It may have a pullback until the end of the year, and then we might take off further ahead. Alright, next up is General Dynamics. And as you see, it had the same kind of a pullback here, but broke through its moving averages, but I don't think that's much of a concern. Look for some support at around 271. And if it does come down that far, look for some support in here, and that's pretty much it on General Dynamics. They also pay a hefty dividend. Their dividend is so far $5.28 per share. That's not bad. That ain't bad at all. So anyway, if that's the way it works out on this thing, just think of swim, and it says dividend per share $5.28. So long term. Okay, so that's General Dynamics, and they're probably going to have a hefty payout towards the end of the year also. So it may continue to pull back because, like I always say, the money's got to come from somewhere to pay these dividends. So it's got to come out of, you know, profits. Next up is Lockheed Martin Corporation. And Lockheed Martin has also been doing that little sell-off that the rest of them been doing because dividend. Paid its dividend on, it's going to pay it on December 2nd. So they're probably taking everything out they need to take out to pay the dividend and the end of the year dividend, unless that's all of it. And their dividend is $12.15 per share. What? Say what? Yeah, exactly. So look for that one probably to continue to sell off. As you can see, we came down, almost splashed down in the water, but then we got a little booster in here to make it so that we didn't make such a big splash, and we came down, splashed through, bobbed around a little bit, and floated back up to the top. So right now 538 is the top of our water level, and let's see what happens if we continue to float and then take off again, or if we're going to sink to the bottom. And then you got a window opened up in here, so that would probably be our very bottom at around $476. All right, next up is Northrop Grumman, and as you can see, Northrop Grumman is kind of doing the same thing. It had his little splash here and then popped up, and then it, you know, cut the boosters and then dropped down to here. So here we're sitting at just above 485, and got a little bit of a bounce. That's probably going to be your dead cat bounce. Maybe come back down, bounce around 485, find some support. Got our moving averages come up here to help out as well, so that may be a thing. Got a problem down here with this window that opened up here at around, so I got a lot of windows here. So really, this one here is kind of really the one you really want to think about. Let's see, what's that at? High of that is 445.95. So we take this, change it. Okay. Wait, that's wrong. Where's my high? 445.95. 445.95. My bad. Alright, and all this other stuff is just noise. Alright. No man's land. Okay. Don't even want to play around in there. If you want to buy some at 485, okay, no problem. Wouldn't buy a lot. If you want to buy some underneath 445, no problem. But in between 445 and 485, I would not suggest anything because you don't know which way we're going to go. Okay? Next up is Rocket Labs. And as you know, that's my horse that I picked for the Aerospace Defense runners. And doing pretty good so far. Ran into some resistance at $23.81. We did break this high of whatever that is there, $22.58. Okay, but we got a little indecision going on here. That's not quite a doji, but it is some indecision. Maybe a doji. I don't know. It just looks kind of weird to be one. But anyhow, kind of like this one back here. We took it out and kept going. So we may continue higher, or we may come back and retest this $21 area and then go higher. Okay, so, and we're getting toward the end of the year, and most of our other big boys, you know, have been selling off. So, you know, Rocket Labs doesn't pay a dividend, so it doesn't really have a reason to sell off. It may just kind of consolidate, waiting for the others to take off, and then of course, you know, ducks in a row. Next up, RTX. Or I should say Mother Goose and little gooselings following it. Or Mother Duck and the little ducks following it. Or whatever analogy you want to use. Use it. Alright, so let me put that in there. Let's see what that level is. So that level is 105.86. This window here may need to be reconciled, may not need to be reconciled. This company pays a dividend, which has already paid out a dividend. It says dividend 0.63 on 11/15. So I don't know what that means, because over here in the Analyze tab, I think it's when it says dividend $2.32. So I don't know how that breaks down. Why is it 63 cents? Because it shows previously 63 cents too, but then over here it shows $2.32. So I'll try to figure that out. Maybe somebody can give me some clarity on that at the I'll contact Schwab and see what the heck is going on there, or what that means, or how it breaks down. If you know how it breaks down, let me know. Curious to know that, and I'll do some searching myself. But as you can see, it's got some overhead resistance with the 20 and the 5, so most likely we're going to continue to pull back until we get into this area here with our moving averages. Plus, we know our big boys are selling off right now going into the end of the year. So, you know, keep an eye on those particular moves. And then maybe the first of the year we might start our, you know, because they're getting into Thanksgiving and Christmas, and nobody wants to be fighting during Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? Brotherly love. So we might take a pause and then, you know, pick the shit back up after, excuse me, friend, pick the stuff back up at the end of the year, or at the new year. Okay, so January 20th, the inauguration by noon, and the new president by afternoon. So it will be President Trump, and he's already said shit's fitting to be on. So, excuse my French again, stuff's fitting to be on. So be ready for that. Okay, and we should be definitely aerospace and defense should be on fire. And I'm going to try to find that one that has the company that makes those stun guns. They're in Arizona, and I had it the other day, and I meant to add it to this watch list, but I forgot, and I apologize for that. And I may have already added in there, but I just didn't see it as I was going through my list. But I will see if I can find it for you, because I noticed that their sales have gone nuts recently. All right, but anyway, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for the next one, and I'm going to try to get that one in there for you. And yeah, aerospace and defense right now, you can pretty much pick your poison, pick your horse, and you should be okay. You know, no promises from any of this stuff, because, like I always say, be careful out there. These markets are crazy.